Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Denver Homes Market Report. Here we are, 16 episodes into our weekly podcast, covering all things real estate here in our mile-high city. I'm happy to see our reach expanding and our subscribers enjoying the weekly updates. Last week, we hit up the Berkeley neighborhood and checked in with the current real estate conditions in that community. Perhaps the original catalyst for this huge transformation happening throughout the Highlands area, starting right there in Berkeley. So what's left to talk about in Highlands? I mean, we have covered Sloan's Lake, Jefferson Park, Sunnyside, Berkeley, and West Highlands. We have touched on Highlands as a whole community. However, there is one more very important pocket which helps define Denver Highlands. I figured this week we wrap up our series on Denver's Northside with a little area just west of downtown. I mean, so close to downtown, you can literally walk across the Millennium Bridge over I-25 and right into downtown Denver. This area known as Lower Highlands, or LoHi. Yes, this little strip of land has also seen massive changes in the past few years. Luckily, we do have a historic district just to the west of LoHi. That is Potter Highlands Historic District. This area has helped to preserve some of the area's original character. LoHi is a pretty amazing neighborhood. A couple years back, I spent my 48th birthday at happy hour at Linger. This bar has some great views of downtown, and they have an Airstream trailer turned bar up on the rooftop. This used to be a mortuary called Olinger. The crafty new restaurateurs who took over the space decided to keep the amazing sign and simply drop the O, where Linger seems to be a fitting name for a place to hang out, grab some food, drinks, and visit with friends. They were also thoughtful to play on the oddity with some interesting drink names and some of the original advertisements on the walls of the bathrooms showcasing caskets for sale. I know it all sounds a bit morbid, but I thought it was cool. I enjoyed our happy hour. Then, of course, the ever-popular Little Man ice cream. I was in shock to see how long some folks are willing to stand in line with it being really hot out and waiting for an ice cream cone. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love ice cream, and the staff at Little Man are always super friendly and energetic. But my goodness, I think 5 or maybe 10 minutes might be about as long as I'm willing to wait. I certainly wouldn't be waiting from halfway around the block. I must admit, the ice cream is pretty good, and I guess if you wait 30 or 40 minutes in line to get it, you have that much more appreciation for your efforts. There are some hills throughout LoHi, which make for a nice, energetic walk or bike ride through the area. I have often ridden bikes from where I once lived in Sloan's Lake down through LoHi and over the bridge at 20th Street to catch a Colorado Rockies game. Geez, I miss baseball. I mean, I'm not a huge fan. I think it's kind of boring to watch on TV. However, the whole experience of putting on a team logo, a shirt or a hat, jumping on our bikes, riding to a spot like the tavern, grab a beer before the game, and then going to the game. We would normally get seats high up in the upper right field, looking down the first baseline, near that Jack Daniels and Chew-Burger bar area. We usually wouldn't stay the whole game, but at least to the 7th inning stretch. This virus has really impacted our lives on so many levels. I mean, with so many lives seriously impacted, and even the loss of life and loss of loved ones, missing a few baseball games seems trivial. It just really goes to show us not to take anything in life for granted, and we must continue to work together and support our communities in impactful ways. I know the world of medical professionals and scientists are all working around the clock, hopefully to find a safe and effective vaccine. It seems that is the only way out of this. A few months ago, I would have said antibodies testing and to see who has had the virus, along with testing to see who is currently carrying this virus. However, those tests are not instant results, and so they are not as useful as they need to be. Let's all hope we get a vaccine up and running as soon as humanly possible for everyone's sake. I know that is a lot to process. If you heard my episode covering the month of June 2020 and my comparisons to June 2019, then you already know we closed over 7,000 deals in 2019. And you would think 2020 was a huge drop in business, but that was not the case. We still closed over 7,000 deals in June of 2020. We found ways to quickly adapt. We took our open houses virtual. I started using Zoom meetings to go over my listing presentations with my clients. We have went to strict guidelines with physical distancing, masks, and sanitizing every home before and after each showing. We are not holding any open houses open to the public. I now ask my clients to drive their own car to our showings. I tend to get there a few minutes early, sanitizer in hand, to quickly wipe down all the touch points in the house, open up all the cabinets, all the doors. I then instruct my clients. I had turned on all the lights, opened up most of the doors, so all they must do is walk through and minimize touching anything. I provide masks as needed. I know the longer this goes on, the harder it becomes to manage. All these new levels of protections in place. However, so far, real estate has managed to keep making moves happen for our buyers and for our sellers, all while keeping everyone as safe as possible. I have had some recent feedback regarding real estate and how could we possibly buy or sell homes during all of this. The reality is, this virus will be defeated. I know it looks bleak in the dead of the storm, but together we will win this battle. When there are uncertainties, there lies opportunity for some. Not everyone is out of work during this pandemic. In fact, there are a huge number of jobs, from healthcare professionals to office cleaners, medical scientists, to grocery store workers, to delivery drivers, you name it. There are some sectors of work who are being asked to work long hours, overtime pay is adding up, and they don't have a time or a place to really go and spend that extra money. Then there are some employers who long before all this started and had made massive investments to move their companies or transfer employees, and those plans have been exacerbated as they are finding ways to allow their employees to work from home. I have had several clients who are now looking at a 4th bedroom or a finished basement to create a comprehensive home office. About 9 months from now, I wouldn't be surprised to see an uptick in clients looking to expand their current home to include a nursery. So for those of you who are finding yourselves, maybe for the first time in your lives, where homeownership might be possible, one of the biggest barriers to buying that first home is the down payment and closing costs. You may be surprised that for as little as 3.5% down, even with not so perfect credit, you may be able to buy a home. So for a $400,000 home, and there are many homes within 10 miles of Denver that are less than $400,000. Here's a quick breakdown on that $400,000 home. Your payment at 3.5% would be $14,000. Then you have your closing costs. Your closing costs will vary depending on your loan program, but I would budget in $5,000 just to be safe. So, for less than $20,000 out of pocket, you could be a homeowner of roughly a $400,000 home. All right, let's jump on the local MLS database and see what the current real estate market is looking like in this convenient location known as LoHi. We'll do the usual here, looking at the most expensive home, as well as on the other end of the spectrum, the most affordable home currently listed. I certainly encourage you to reach out to me personally if you're thinking about selling your home, or perhaps you're thinking of buying a home. Call me. Let me know what you're looking for. My number here, 720-688-5110. Okay, so first off, we have 90 homes available, which are currently active right here in LoHi. Now, I should note, this also includes the homes located in the Lower Highlands Historic District. 24 of these homes are houses, while the remaining 66 are attached homes, or condos and townhouses. The most expensive listing in LoHi, in this Lower Highlands area, is this one located at 3222 Zunai Street. This is a townhouse presented by Liv Sotheby's for $2,500,000. This home boasts just over 5,000 square feet of living space. If you own multiple cars, or perhaps you want to make some extra income by renting car spaces out, my goodness, this home has an attached 3-car garage, it has a detached 2-car garage, and an attached carport for 2 more cars under a covered carport. So enough for 7 cars. If you know how tough parking can be in LoHi, this is quite unusual to have this many places to park on one property. Okay, so you're not looking for a $2.5 million townhouse with a parking lot. That's okay. Let's look at the other end of the spectrum. And what we see here for the most affordable home, here we go. This is a nice little condo located at 3233 Vallejo Street, Unit 1A, presented by HomeSmart Cherry Creek. This condo is a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 521 square feet of living space for $267,000. This is a beautiful brick building. I've been in these condos over the years a few times. It's a great location. It also comes with a deeded parking spot. So, $2.5 million to $267,000, there's a wide variety of homes available in LoHi. 90 in all to choose from. If you're not looking for the most expensive and you're not looking for the most affordable, as I mentioned earlier, give me a call. Let's talk about your situation more specifically and what your ideal home might look like. Once again, my number, 720-688-5110. All right, well, that's going to wrap up this 16th episode of the Denver Homes Market Report. We're posting this out on July 16th, just as a coincidence. If you have not listened to the entire Denver Highlands series, I highly encourage you to do so. We have covered Sloan's Lake, Jefferson Park, Sunnyside, Highlands, West Highlands, Berkeley, and now LoHi for a complete series on Denver's Northside. I'll be back next week with another exciting neighborhood. I'm really, at this point, not sure where we will go. If you have an idea of a neighborhood you would like featured, hit me up on my Facebook page, Ricky.schoonover Mode Real Estate. That's SCHOONOVER, Ricky.schoonover Mode Real Estate. Let me know, and I promise I'll work into our podcast lineup. Until then, thank you for listening, and I hope you'll subscribe on YouTube and hit that little notifications bell so that way you'll be alerted to my new content. Stay safer at home as much as possible.